What's up, Vetters? Patrick here with Vetted. It seems that Christopher Mellon, along with the UAP Disclosure Fund, which is a nonprofit that he is a part of, released a video in which Chris Mellon sort of addresses the audience, right? It's just what we call in the industry a piece to camera. And he said some things in it I think you're going to want to hear. Now, it's an 8-minute video, more or less, and I'm only going to play a little bit of it. So I'll put a link in the description if you want to watch the full thing, which I do highly recommend. It's really well put together. So whoever did that video did a really good job. But I do want to focus on two particular parts of the video. All right, so let's jump in, y'all. Now, please hit that like button, Vetters. That really helps out the videos. And, of course, if you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Put out new videos every week about the UFO phenomenon. I'm trying to get to 100,000 before the end of the year. Let's do it, y'all. All right, now, let's jump into this first clip.
From time immemorial, our forebears have gazed at the night skies, wondering if we are alone in the universe. Remarkably, a handful of early thinkers, including the Roman philosopher Lucretius and the Renaissance scholar Giordano Bruno, recognized that the cosmos must contain other worlds with intelligent beings. Writing nearly a century before Christ's birth, Lucretius stated, quote, "All this visible universe is not unique in nature, and we must believe there are in other regions of space, other worlds, other beings, and other men," end quote. Today, thanks to modern astronomy and the discovery of exoplanets, we know the sheer vastness of the cosmos makes the prospect of other inhabited worlds not only plausible, but a statistical certainty. One recent estimate concludes the odds we are alone in the universe are less than one chance in 10 billion trillion. Another recent estimate suggests that we share the Milky Way with over 10,000 alien civilizations, most far older and more advanced than us. In short, it seems inevitable that alien civilizations have arisen elsewhere and are as abundant, diverse, and sophisticated as anything imagined by the authors of science fiction. Consequently, although the title of this conference, "We Are Not Alone," may sound sensationalistic, it actually expresses a view shared by most astronomers. Distant alien life would be of purely theoretical interest if there was no prospect of interacting with these civilizations. However, there is a large and growing body of evidence indicating that at least one alien civilization has found Earth and is monitoring us, perhaps even seeking to influence the trajectory of our development.
Like I said, well put together. And stay with me because I have one more clip from that video to share with you. But I do want to talk about something that Chris Mellon just said there at the end of the clip, which was that there was at least one species, right, that has visited Earth and potentially, messing with us here, right, essentially, right, somehow invested in, course correcting our evolution as a species. I don't know. I don't understand, influencing us in some way. Or at least a vested interest in how we progress. I don't know what's the best way to put that, but regardless, the specifically the idea that there's just at least one, right? Now remember, this is from the UAP Disclosure Fund, and if you remember back in May, they had this briefing where Luis Elizondo held up that one photo that was an irrigation circle, right? And he apologized. He actually stepped down from the UAP Disclosure Fund. So this is the same group putting out this video. And afterwards, Chris Mellon actually became the chairman of the board of the UAP Disclosure Fund. And initially, this video that Chris Mellon put out was intended for a conference that never happened. And you can hear him reference it in the video as well, the "We Are Not Alone" conference. So that's why he put it out. But just let's get back to this one species, right? So at that same briefing where Luis Elizondo held up that one photo, Eric Davis was there. Dr. Eric Davis was there, and he spoke, on stage with the UAP Disclosure Fund, specifically to Representative Eric Burleson, telling him that there's 4 alien species. So I'm a little confused how that's not included in this. Does it that Chris Mellon doesn't really believe in what Eric Davis is saying, or they can only confirm one, and you may be thinking, well, Patrick, that's semantics. It's not really. That's actually quite important, that particular detail, right? How many enemies or friends do we have, right? What's going on? I mean, that makes a huge impact. If you were going to war with one adversary or 4 or 5, wouldn't you want to know that? And I'm not saying we're going to war with aliens, but I'm just saying clearly we haven't established if this is a friendly or adversarial relationship. And to be fair, it could be both. But just to back up what I'm saying, okay, here's a clip of Dr. Eric Davis saying this at the UAP Disclosure Fund event back in May.
Are they multiple species? Are they like, what is their size? And how many are usually on a craft?
They're typically the multiple species. People are familiar with the Greys, the Nordics. People have talked about reptilians and insectoids. It's not that they're reptilian or insectoid, it's that they resemble to the recipient of reptile or insect type humanoid, because they have a head and 4 limbs and torso. So
Large, small,
human size, human scale.
and are there how many are accrued?
Well, the Greys I'm familiar with from investigating the crash at Corona, which is misnamed the crash at Roswell. It's not the crash at Roswell, it's the crash at Corona in Mexico. Those were Greys, those were 4 foot tall. And the Nordics are typically human size, probably, I've heard 5-6 feet tall. And same with the people who mislabel reptilian and insectoid, they're roughly that height too. I haven't heard anything about anything 7 or 8 feet, 9 feet tall, of that nature.
So I don't know. You decide for yourself. Again, I'll put links in the description. You can check it out for yourself. And maybe it doesn't mean anything, but maybe it does. Now, let's get to this last clip of this Chris Mellon video that they put out from the UAP Disclosure Fund. Just one little short piece at the end that I thought was apropos.
It is not hard to see why conscious recognition of an alien presence would for many people prove anxiety-producing, disruptive, and difficult to reconcile with society's prevailing view of reality. Simply stated, the issue of UAP and aliens is not only subtle and complex, for many people it is also anxiety-producing and therefore exceptionally difficult to accept or to process. This, I would argue, is one of the greatest challenges we face in seeking to raise public awareness of the UAP topic and its implications. The problem is massively compounded by the unique and unprecedented obstacles involved in applying conventional scientific methods to studying UAP. Suffice it to say that never before in history have we studied anything that surpasses us in intelligence and technological development. In sum, no issue could be more profound or important, but in seeking to study the issue and raise public awareness, we are also faced with unique and unprecedented challenges.
All right, y'all. So, link in the description if you want to check out the full video. Again, it's about 8 minutes or so. And I'll put a link to the Eric Davis clip as well. And you can check all this out for yourself. All right, betters. We'll see you in the next video. Remember, every day's a gift, y'all. Peace.